Hi, class. This is Professor Cambridge. Welcome again to English 121. Sorry for taking so long to send out this blast about your class. I have been very busy with other things, and I'm very, very sorry for that. But I'm here now, and I want to assure you that you are not late. You are not late with anything. We are in our first assignments, in our first weeks. We're getting settled with our topic. Um, the first logical fallacy is very important because you're going to run up against things all through this semester and the coming semesters of your college life that you don't believe and that people that are close to you don't believe. So it's very important to understand that we don't dismiss information simply because it doesn't make sense to us. It is very important to a research class also because it tells us that we must research something before we say, that doesn't make any sense. That can't be true. I'm not going to believe it. We have to look into things. We cannot be one click people. I'm sure you know what I mean. There are people out there, they just click on something or they open their computers and they see something and they believe it and they immediately start spreading it. We can't do that. And we also can't be the one click people who see something, don't don't think it makes any sense to us and dismiss it. That is very dangerous, especially nowadays with all this information coming at us so quickly. Can't just say, ah, no. Okay. So, like I said, welcome, welcome. I hope you all watch the crash course. It's very important. That's going to be our topic for the semester, global migration. Also, there's a lot of information in that little video. They are my heroes. The people that do crash courses on YouTube, they do crash courses on everything. If you're taking a class, you might want to take a look at their crash course. Um, they make great videos, and I'm using them in all my classes. The global migration crash course video has many of the search terms that we're going to be using to research for our class. I've designed this class to follow the same steps that you would take if you were writing a paper. If you were writing a research paper, first you would find your topic, which is what we did, global migration. Now, global migration is a very big topic. There are many little subtopics there that we could use. So one of my questions is, what is the subject? It's global migration. And or what is the point? The point is going to be up to you. You're going to be looking at what perspective you want to look at global migration in. Do you want to look at global migration from the point of view of women? What are the pushes that push people to leave and go to another place? So are we looking at food scarcity? Are we looking at climate change? There was just a huge earthquake in Morocco, destroyed entire villages. Thousands of people are dead or dying. These are pushes that push people out of their home. They're gone. Buildings that were thousands of years old have fallen down. There was a huge mosque that's a UN site, historical site. I watched it shaking on the news. These things happen. Natural disasters, floods, famines. Famines are not always natural. Sometimes men create famines. So we have climate change, we have social change, we have violence. We also have opportunities disappearing and people have to leave. You know, people, there's a big migration from Silicon Valley in California to other places because of COVID. People didn't have to be next to the place where they work. They could work from home. So there's technology that creates migration. I'm working from home. Before I used to have to go back and forth to the Bronx. Now I'm working from home talking to you. So there's a lot of factors that we could look at global migration from that are not the same for everybody. You won't be interested in the same thing everybody's interested. At least I hope not, because I don't want to keep reading the same paper. So let's jump right into our syllabus, okay? I know that's what you really care about. And let me share the screen. I'm in Zoom because I find that they're much easier to deal with when it comes to these kinds of things. Much, much easier. So there is our syllabus. Let's go to Blackboard. For those of you that were having trouble with Blackboard, go to the announcements. In the announcements is the welcome. This was all the way back on the 26th. That's 2 weeks ago. Bad teacher, way too long. But you had things to do and enough information here. And also I found out that I put all the course materials in and they didn't show up. So I had to put them back in again today. Mercury's retrograde, what can I say? Here's our syllabus, but I'm just gonna do a little run through quickly. Here's the syllabus. In fact, let me change this here so I can see the student mode, so I can make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing. So here was the original announcement. Here's the syllabus, as you can see. It doesn't look the way it looks when I put it in. Blackboard is like that. Here are your course materials, finally made it. So the course materials, because this is a zero textbook class, what I put on the course materials is like a grammar book. I didn't do a whole grammar book because you have the internet and you have Purdue OWL and you have Grammarly and you have all these other things that I didn't have. I wish I had Microsoft Word when I was your age, because then I could just tell it to do MLA formatting for my paper, which I will show you how to do. A tiny little video, maybe I'll show you how to do it, but you could just Google how to do MLA. You could just go to or Google how to do MLA formatting in Microsoft Word, or you can go to Google Docs. And when it says new, let's see, here's our syllabus again. Okay, so let's go to file, let's go to new document from the template gallery. And this is almost the same as in Microsoft Word: resumes, letters, personal, work, it's all the way down, human resources, freelance, education, playful, simple, report title, MLA. There's absolutely no excuse. It will format everything for you. And it will do your bibliography, your works cited page. If you do APA, it'll do all of it, okay? So let the AI work for you. Don't let it cheat to write your paper, but let it format your paper for you, okay? If you have to do a PowerPoint, it will also turn anything you're working on into a PowerPoint. Let's use these things for the right reasons and not make ourselves crazy trying to cheat. Okay, so here's our syllabus. Where was I? I'm back in Blackboard. So in your course materials, I have a feelings wheel, because students, I was surprised at how students don't have the words for how they feel or for how other people feel. Now you're going to be talking about rationalizations and reasons why people leave. You need to know what it's emotional. This is an emotional topic for everybody, okay? So intellectual self-doubt, you may already have been talking about the imposter syndrome, about your reading. Let me scroll. How to get past going beyond 5-paragraph essay. This is a very good little tip here. Shows you about your conclusions. Because, American conclusions are just repeating the introduction. You're past that now. You're not taking a test. This isn't a standardized test. This is a class where you have to do academic prose. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Here's the sample paper, shows you where everything is. But like I said, Microsoft will do it too. So will Google. Microsoft is a little better, I think, than Google because Microsoft gives you instructions. So you can go to your mail, if you have mail, and go here. Okay? So go to Word, and if you start in Word, it'll also ask you if you want to have your paper formatted that way. I know. If you want me to do more of this, something more on this, just email me. Okay? Introducing quotes, so you don't have to say it's stated, get boring. Now, somebody asked me in an email, how am I grading things? I'd like to see your work before I decide how I'm grading it. But that doesn't happen since you're not in any hurry to hand in your work until you see how I'm grading you. And I'm not in any hurry to grade you until I see your work. That's how you get stuck. So this is my rubric. This is going to be a whole different video because it's important. So here's my 6 habits of mind for critical thinking. We're going to come right back to that. How to write a good paragraph. This is very important. Your first assignment, no, it's not the first one. The second discussion board assignment that I gave you, the first one is on the logical fallacy, which is very important. And the second one is how to email a professor. And you're being asked to write a paragraph. Because this is very important. How to email a professor, how to email anybody. This is the most writing you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. It's going to be email. If you get a job, you're going to be emailing people back and forth. So letter writing, even though people think it's dead, letter writing is one of the most important rhetorical work that you're going to be doing, is writing a letter. Rhetoric, by the way, is a Greek word, rhetoric, however you want to pronounce it. And it is the art of persuasion. So one of the first things you want to do is give a good impression to your professor. So if you send a letter to your professor that reads like it's a text to your friend, it's not very impressive. I mean, the only thing missing from some of the letters I get is, hey, boo, because that's the tone that you're sending. Hey, boo, what's up? Hey, I just wanted to know. No. Try to hear what you're reading, hear what you're writing, hear what you're reading, and you'll see how much better your grades get. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all of this. I just want to make sure. Let's scroll back up. It's up to you to look through and see what goodies are in there that can help you. Then there's the week by week. So this is what you see. So this is the crash course on migration. Very important that you don't get caught up in the idea that we're doing something on immigration. America is obsessed with immigration. And this is one of the largest countries in the world. One of them, not the largest or even the top 3. I think some country, yeah. And it does have, between America, the North American continent and Europe, have the largest numbers in terms of immigration. They also have the largest numbers in terms of migration. Americans are going to other places. They're not just staying here. They're also immigrants in other countries. Okay? So watch it as many times as you can. And then this is our first logical fallacy. When people say that makes no sense, I don't understand it. So it can't be true. I can't wrap my head around that. Nah, that's not true. That's not a good reason to dismiss an argument. It's a fallacy, which is a false thought or a false argument. And when it's false, when you say false, it don't mean that it's a lie. It means it's incorrect. It's an incorrect argument. Incorrect thought. It's not going to lead you to a good place. The example I put in here is Christopher Columbus sailing west to go east. And everyone in Europe thought that he would just fall off the edge of the world because they thought the earth was flat and the sun went down on the west. It went down. There was nothing under there. Nothing. The science didn't make any sense to them. They still believe that the earth went around the sun. And every day we say the sun comes up and we say the sun goes down. It's not true. It's a logical fallacy, but it makes sense to us because it's what we see. But the sun doesn't go up and down. The earth goes round and round. So these are the things I'm talking about. If you can describe some of those things, those are logical fallacies. That particular idea is a logical fallacy. There's another example when you click on this thing. Extra credit. You need to get, for full credit for this assignment, you need to respond to your classmates. You need to start talking to each other. Now, I just put this in, so don't be surprised if you haven't seen it. This is the one, how to email your professor. Okay? Learn how to do it. Your professors will respond much better to you. I know they thank me because you're not clear. And if you say, hi, my name is Louisa, and I just want to know about the last assignment. I don't know what class you're in. You're assuming that I only teach one class at one school. You cannot assume that about your professors. A lot of your professors are adjuncts and they're running back and forth. They have different schools. Some of them are in graduate school themselves. And I just want to show you something. This is my email. Do you see 4,618 in my inbox? Please be a little more clear. Use what is in there, okay? There's a link here to an article at the Purdue Owl, emailing a professor by this lady here, this woman. And you can use this as a template or you can read through it. You see how short it is. I don't like giving people a lot of, I really don't like giving people long instructions on assignments because I find that students tend to know what they're doing. And when they don't, I can guide them because that's when I know what they know. Okay, so far that's all you've got. We're going into our second week really, because of, what are we counting, Friday? It was last week, now it's this, the week before, now this. So we're good. At the end of this week, we're going to start really getting into our migration situation. Let me see. I have my notebook here. Let's see if I forgot to say something. Topic, narrow it down. Who says so? Did I show you? The last time I taught this class, I taught a class on global migration and social media. It's very interesting. It was actually English 111, okay? And one of the things we did, which is I'm going to do with you, is we created a database of articles so that when you decided to look at the work, you wouldn't have to only depend on the library. Now, we're not looking just at social media and migration. We're looking at all the different topics on migration. So you can pick scholarly articles. You can also pick social media articles, but they have to make sense. You can't I don't know what to say. We'll talk a little more about that. I don't want to keep talking because this is already too long. And in terms of your grade, let's see here, how to check your grade. Let's go back to this is in the student mode. So here are my grades. So far, there's not a lot in there. The first expository essay assignment is upcoming. It's due today at midnight. My logical fallacy is in there. I haven't done it yet. Do you see I'm very late on my grades. The other one is due at the end of the week, which is how to email your professor. So you just look here and you'll see what happened. What grades you got. Now, technology help. I didn't have to do any of this. How to submit an assignment by watching the short video. This is the one I like better. Learning more about assignments on Blackboard by watching this short video. Learn how to participate in your discussion board. How to send an email with Blackboard. Don't, unless it's an emergency. I suggest you email me at my Lehman email directly. Blackboard is a little hinky. And then there's the app. It's a free download for your phone, and it'll buzz and ping and send you a lot of notices letting you know about all of your classes. And if you're taking a class on Blackboard Collaborate instead of on Zoom, all these things. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. Send me your questions in the speaking to your professor and in the discussion board. Send me your questions and I will make videos answering them. Okay, I'll try to wait until I get a couple of questions. So hurry up if you have a lot of questions and send them. But in the meantime, try to figure it out yourself, at least the Blackboard, okay? Shouldn't have to try to figure out the class. Like I said, we are okay. Your assignments are up there. If you can't access your assignments, email me and I'll see if I made a mistake, because it happens, you know. I sometimes forget to check a box. But other than that, we're fine. Ooh, I forgot to tell you one very important thing. I'm probably going to send out an announcement about this. There's a verification of rosters. If you have not submitted any kind of work for this class before the 13th, which is 2 days, the 14th is the last day, but I want to put this in on the 13th. If you haven't done anything at all by the 13th, you will be dropped from this class. You must participate in the class in some way, even if it's just to introduce yourself on the discussion board. You need to introduce yourself. I'm going to send an announcement with that. But if you were one of the brave ones and you sat through this whole long video, even if you just listened to it and you didn't actually watch the whole thing, it's very important. Okay, so I'll probably be sending you another video by the end of the week. Be good. And I'm looking forward to reading your writing.